This is Michaela Mixon's Persuasive Speech and crowd.
Hi.
And more crowd.
The child's eyes were closed. She was sound asleep, sucking her thumb, floating in a silken sack, waiting for the moment that she would decide that her time inside would end and her time outside would begin. She had delicate, graceful fingers and toes. Her skin was shiny and transparent. You could see her vital organs shadowed in shades of pink and red. Her heart, already beating 120 to 160 times a minute, was pumping blood that she herself had made to her perfectly shaped arms, legs, torso, and back to her heart again through a web-like maze of microscopic veins. This is what Dr. Jerry Falwell observed when he saw a fetus that was about 16 to 18 weeks in development. Abortion is cruel and inhumane and should never have been introduced to a world of mindless humans that do not understand the value of human life. Whenever abortion was legalized in the Roe v. Wade decision, Justice Harry Blackmun decided that it would be relevant for him to just explain that a woman could have an abortion up to the second trimester, and that baby that I described still had 4 more weeks of development to go before the cutoff time would be made for an abortion. So that baby was perfectly open to abortion, which is absolutely awful to think about, that something that developed and that human could be killed in such a merciless way. In this speech, I will talk about how abortion is harmful to the mother and how it is truly murder, and also how you can place a child up for adoption. In 1965, there were roughly 265 deaths from females that had illegal abortions. There are about 13% that die every year, not just in the U.S., but worldwide, that have died from illegal abortions. If the equipment that is used to abort a child is not properly sterilized, the woman may become infected, and if the infection is not treated, she will die, and it will be an extremely painful death. If the infection is caught, she can be healed, but it's not going to be very easy to heal from something like that, from something so traumatizing as that. A mother and her child have a bond that is given by God, and it's one of the most pure and personal bonds that a human can have. Females are born with a maternal instinct to take care of a child. So whenever a child is ripped from a mother like that, it can be very scarring to the mother spiritually, as well as it can just be harmful to her in general. Jerry Falwell also said that I cannot believe that 7 justices on the Supreme Court could be so callous about the dignity of a human life. Why would you abort something as precious as a child when you can place it for adoption? There are so many parents that want to have a child but cannot. Maybe the wife has medical issues and is not fit to carry a child. They would most likely adopt. The more abortions there are, the less adoptions there will be able to be made. Why would you not want to give the child the chance to live with a family that will love it and be able to take care of it properly? Think about it this way. What if someone very important in your life, whoever it may be, was never born? Your life would be so different because God gives all of us roles. He knows exactly what He wants us to do from the time that we are being knitted together in the womb to the time that we are born for the rest of our lives. So, what if Mozart or Bach, what if they had never been born? We wouldn't have the music that we have. We wouldn't be as musically eloquent as we are. Now what about Newton? Well, we wouldn't have science. the way it is. We wouldn't know very important things about the universe and how it works because of many things, because of many people like him. Now, what if the person that was going to cure cancer was aborted? We could live in a world with no cancer, but we would never know if we were to live in a world with no cancer because the child was killed. There are so many there's millions of just personalities so unique and individual in their own way that we are never going to get to meet because they are killed. 1.2 million in the U.S. each year. There are about 60 million pregnancies, and over half of those are accidental, and 1.2 million of them are aborted. Why can't you place them up for adoption? Seems a lot easier to me. My final point is murder. God says, "Woe to those who shed the blood of the innocent." There are multiple passages in the Bible where it is said, and not that it is abortion, but that it is murder of the innocent. Abortion is people's way of taking something into their own hands that only God has control of, which is terminating life. In a word, murder. Jerry Falwell also compared abortion to Hitler's final solution for the Jews, and he also says that it is a biological holocaust. I agree with him completely on this because about 10 million babies, more than 10 million babies, have been killed over the past 15 years because we have legalized something that is condoning murder. The Supreme Court condoned murder, which I honestly don't understand how they could do something like that. Abortion is evil, and it is a poison that affects everyone. Whether it is legal or not, abortion needs to be avoided. I leave you with one final thought. How many millions of children prior to their birth will never live to see the light of day because of the shocking action of the majority of the United States Supreme Court?